to the world of borderline banter, where we dive deep into every current canter. Mike's the host with Dustin by his side, pressing buttons, taking us on the ride. Politics, events, and much more. Borderline banter, never a bore. Tune in, listen, join the conversation. Borderline banter, your source of information. From politics to global affairs, we dissect the news nobody compares. Mike's insight shines a light. Dustin's clicks keep the show tight. Politics, events, and much more. Borderline banter, never a bore. Tune in, listen, join the conversation. Borderline banter, your source of information. Welcome to the world of borderline banter, where we dive deep into every current canter. Mike's the host with Dustin by his side, pressing buttons, taking us on the ride. Politics, events, and much more. Borderline banter, never a bore. Tune in, listen, join the conversation. Borderline banter, your source of information. From politics to global affairs, we dissect the news nobody compares. Mike's insight shines a light. Dustin's clicks keep the show tight. Politics, events.
Well, hello everybody. Hope you're having a great Wednesday afternoon wherever you are. It's like 95 degrees Fahrenheit here, so I am literally dying. I'm Canadian. We're not built for this crap. But yeah, welcome everybody. Dustin, how's it going? You blurry little fella, you?
I am a blurry little fella.
Yeah.
It's going pretty good here. It says 89 degrees. That can't be right though. I do have some background noise you can hear.
Yeah,
you
so,
get that?
Yeah,
got an angry little man.
hear
And I
it,
don't know why he's so angry.
You might have an idea, but we'll save that for the after.
Okay, it's actually 82.
After dark,
that's more right. Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you had a
It's
good
nice
day
day out.
and all that.
Made it halfway through the week so far, you know.
Yeah. See if they make it through the night, and if they do, it's all gonna warm up and cool off from here. You know, 6
Hopefully.
months ago I was bitching that it was negative 45. Now it's like plus 34 Fahrenheit Celsius, and yeah, we're not built for this crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready to go if you are. I don't have too much to say to you.
I mean, we could tell everybody about the new game we've been playing.
Oh yeah, go for it. While you do that, I'm gonna promote my sticker actually. My new Borderline Banter stickers.
That's a shameless promotion.
So yeah.
But yeah, we've you know, we always like to share what we're doing.
For sure, let them. You know more about the game than I do.
We're playing a game called Dark and Darker. I don't know anything about the game, dude. It's called Dark and Darker, and you're in a cave, and things kill you really easily.
Yeah.
That's what we know so far.
It's free. It's on Steam and Epic, so check it out. If you
It's
want,
free, but they give you one character slot, and you can't sell on the market. You can only buy on the market. If you pay $30 for the full version, whatever. You can have more than one character slot, so you don't have to delete your character to try out the other characters.
I'm not gonna pay for that. So.
And then you can also obviously sell the loot you find to other people.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't see myself getting that into this game. It's cool, but yeah, not $30.
The thing is, every time you go in to a dungeon, if you die, which is almost all the time, whatever you have, you lose. So every time you have something, you can lose it.
I think I've done about 12 rounds now, and I've died 11 times. So that's saying it, right? So
I think mine. I probably have a few more tries in there because I did some solos, but I got out once. Yeah. So like 15 tries and one out. It's a solid game if you like torturing yourself. So I can't say we recommend it, but that's what we've been doing. Yeah. But yeah, let's I guess we're gonna talk about killing while
I gotta put my fan on. I thought I could do without it, but I can't. I hope the sound's good. I hope you can't hear the fan in the background. If you do, can you please let me know, and I'll try to fix it. If not, we'll move on. So, but let's move on.
We're gonna move on regardless. Yeah. We'll start off with the Toronto Sun.
For sure. Take it away.
Lily.
Really?
Hundreds of people charged with murder while on bail.
You
I don't know why it says that.
You didn't even say what the story is. You didn't talk about our title tonight.
I said,
did you?
Killing while on bail.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't hear that. I was worried about my fan.
Jesus.
All right.
You were literally more worried about the fan than the show. I keep this show something.
Yeah, hundreds of people charged with murder while on bail. Further proof of Trudeau's revolving door bail system.
Oh, everything's Trudeau's fault.
Well, he can definitely change this. He's all for catch and release, you know. So,
catch and release.
Yeah,
that
you catch your criminals, you get their name, and you release them. Then you catch them in an hour, and you're like, oh, don't do that again, and you release them. Then 45 minutes later, they're like, what did I just tell you?
Wait. Get the latest from Brian Lilly straight to your inbox. So that's the author of this column. Okay, Brian Lilly. Okay, that explains it. I was trying to figure out the Lilly thing.
Yeah.
Got it. Figured it out. Here's a convicted criminal in handcuffs. The stock image.
Brought to you by Getty Images. So.
Thanks. Alright, so the problem of repeat violent offenders is not just real in Canada, it's deadly. Trudeau government response to a written question in Parliament shows just how deadly. Alright. Guess we can't.
Holy moly, Toronto son, what the frig is this? Right?
Wow, yeah, okay.
Content warning.
Let's actually get to the freaking story here. Jesus. A question submitted by Conservative Deputy Leader Melissa Lanceman asked the government how many people have been charged with homicide while out on bail or another type of release. The numbers broken down by year are shocking. In 2022, there were 256 people charged with homicide while on some kind of release, including house arrest and parole.
So yeah, so that's pretty messed up. Like,
okay, but how many of those were bail?
Well, house arrest means two. I don't know. Let's see if it gets into it. But yeah, that's still.
It says including house arrest and parole. So we have bail, house arrest, and parole, which are all three different things.
Yeah. But yeah, that's 30% of all homicides in Canada. You know, 29. Let's be.
Right, but why are we lumping it together? We really need the breakdown.
Let's hope they do break it down.
With 874 homicides in 2022, the 256 people charged while on release would equate to 29% of all homicides.
So yeah, well, on release. So yeah, like.
Right. Yeah, because they're saying 874 in that year. Okay,
yeah. So. Yeah, that's
right.
Isn't that just like one city in America? So.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's like a bad. That's a bad weekend. That's a bad weekend in Chicago. You know, like come on.
These are pretty low numbers you guys are doing up there. Hey, have you considered just like giving guns? Like we have more than one gun per person. You guys don't. Have you considered changing your numbers to be more like ours?
I'm trying my best.
Like the per capita gun per person count.
I am trying. I'm gonna fight the government, and we're gonna get freaking semi-automatic guns. And
this is why the America gun problem is actually unique. Nobody else has our gun problem because of how many we have per person. We're the number one. We really are.
Well, Justice Insiders will quickly caution that people charged in 2022 may have been charged with a murder happening in other years. That makes it much better. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Never mind.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So if they killed him December 31st, 2021, well, that wasn't in 2022. That was in 2021, right? But that's so. Say they didn't get caught or charged until after the murder. That's what it's saying. You see. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. So
okay.
It's not saying there was necessarily that number of homicides in 2022. That was the number of people charged in 2022.
Yeah.
Charges are always not in line with the happenstance. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's usually not much longer. So, but yeah.
I mean, between the actual event of a murder and the charges and the sentencing, it's the sentencing. Really.
It could be
the charges come quick.
I don't know. I have never been charged or anything. So.
Well, getting charged with it is it's not you haven't proven guilty or not.
And
but it's when you get your verdict and then you're still not done. You have to get your sentence.
So this is Conservative MP Frank Capteau. It's obviously speaks to the problem on bail that we've been speaking about repeatedly. Yeah, so they've been bringing this up how people steal a car and then 2 days later they're caught in another stolen car. Then 2 days later they're literally caught again. First of all, that criminal should probably change his career paths Second of all, we should probably stop releasing these guys that are literally doing the same crime over and over again.
Well, you would need a system that actually tries to reform criminals if you wanted that. Like,
So-
you want something, but your system doesn't produce that.
But yeah, no.
So you'd have to change
North
the
America,
system,
we don't do
right?
that here. In North America, they lock you up, and then you're in there, and they let you go. And they're like, oh, well, did you learn a lesson? Well, probably not, because now they don't have any skills or anything, because they've been locked up for 10 years, you know?
Well, what we do is we make sure that you also have on your record something where you can't get employment at like most places.
Yeah.
And that really screws you over big time. So you're very likely to do another thing. As long as we can get that big old felony on you, you're screwed.
So Capjo, the former Crown prosecutor, which is like a lawyer, right? They're just a big top dog there. Not a lawyer, a judge.
It's like,
sorry,
like Kamala.
a judge.
Like
yeah,
Kamala.
like a judge, right? No, Kamala's not.
Kamala was a
Kamala used to
prosecutor.
be. Like she used to be. You're right. Yeah. So.
She was a prosecutor.
Yeah.
And that's what
Turned politician who had been looking at how the system works and right now, he says the system's not keeping the public safe. And I think I even talked to you about this in the past about how a lot of crimes are happening, and they're like, yeah, let them out. Now, like, if they stole a chocolate bar and they got let out and they murdered someone, that is like a totally different story. But if they threatened to kill someone, got arrested, and let out on bail, and they killed the person, that's, yeah. But anyway, the liberals have to know that bail is a problem, and they're doing so little about it. Okay.
Well, but see, here's the thing, and the original question submitted by the Conservatives asked for the number of people charged with homicide broken down by the type of release. This is what I was just asking for. And they were on from 2016 through 2022. So not just 2022, please. I hadn't asked for that, but I would also say more years better. The response wasn't quite that detailed. The government only provided figures from 2019 through 2022. And this is the problem for me. Lumped all kinds of releases in together. From bail to house arrest, parole to community supervision. These are all different steps of the process and how you get there. Like, what are you actually content? Like, bail is the content right here, so we need this number specifically. We need this.
But yeah, I know, and again, maybe
and then we need context.
Maybe there was
otherwise
2
it's
or
a number
3
with no
house
context.
arrests, right? They domestic violence or something. But
right, and I need to know that if 240 of them were bail, that's bail's fault. But if 200 of them are parole, that's a parole problem, right? We need to know where the 200 is. I know it's broken down where one of them probably has a small number, and house arrest might be 5.
I'm assuming house arrest would be the smallest, but
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking parole is going to be the actual highest, to be honest.
I think bail and parole.
Because almost everybody who gets out from a violent crime is on parole for X amount of time. And if you're out on a violent thing, you've served your sentence, but you're out on parole at that point, and you do another violent thing, I'm not surprised. But that's parole. That's not bail. It's a different thing. That's after you've done your time, right? And you have time plus parole time. Basically, you're just additionally monitored, and you're going to get guaranteed sentencing kind of shit if you do crimes while on parole. So it's already got like a built-in mechanism to like disincentivize it. But obviously, we also have a community flaw, at least in America, where we say you can't get gainful employment, you can't get housing. Fuck you. Like get yourself back in the system, but
and
also
there's certain jobs,
the system
of course.
doesn't want you now.
There's certain
You
jobs
can't.
that yes, it should be on your file, 100%.
Right, but like it's actually the majority of employers will not hire a felon.
Like I
and
watched,
also
I watched this.
Almost no banks will give you a loan, so you're not getting a house.
I watch
or a
this.
car.
You know that cop I watch every Friday, the Fridays with Frank. I've told you about him.
Yeah, but it's not me.
Anyway, will you listen to what I'm saying?
No,
he pulled someone over the other day, and the guy was going a criminal amount of speed, right? And the guy, he looked at the rap sheet, and he said that the guy's rap sheet was like he had a crazy rap sheet, but for the last 6 years he hasn't been on the radar once, right? So Frank went up to him and was like, "Know what? Because you're doing such a good job, I could cite you for a criminal act right now, which will screw you over, but I'm not. I'm just gonna write you with speeding." So it's going to be an $80 ticket other than getting arrested and being put in jail and probably ruining his life, you know what I mean? So there are some good cops out there, but see, people can turn and things you can. But again, certain jobs, like if you're a pedophile, that should be on the record the rest of your life, till the day you die. Like I don't care about reform or anything. If that's on your record, that's on your record for the rest of your life. If you do it, record for the rest of your life. Murder too, probably, but...
Yes, that's where I disagree, because if you've served your time and you're supposed to be back into society, putting a freaking label on you that makes it where you can't get loans, can't get employment, can't get a car, can't get a home. How are you supposed to get back into society?
Okay,
You're
well,
telling
I'm
these
not
people to do a thing,
talking
while
about
also
jobs.
saying you can't have
But,
any
okay,
of the
you
stuff
rape
that
a
you
6-year-old.
need.
You rape a 6-year-old girl. You do what, 10
you changed
years,
it to rape.
and then
You changed it to rape. I was talking about murder.
Well,
who served his time.
I said right before that. I said if you do a crime.
You're changing what I've said though. Were you even listening to me?
Okay, well, murder still.
Were you even listening?
It doesn't. I'm just saying. You said not even
A murderer who served their time.
Yes. Well then.
20 years.
What about a pedophile?
And now they're not allowed to work again.
That's where it's
they're not
wrong.
allowed
But what
to
about a
vote
pedophile?
again. Well, but what you're saying is applying to more than just pedophiles and rapists, which
That's
by the way,
what, and I said maybe
not
murder.
do a good job.
And
of,
I said
cops
maybe
get very
murder.
few
So.
rapists and pedophiles.
Okay,
Look
regardless.
at the statistics of how many rapists and pedophiles.
Regardless,
cops
that's not.
actually
That's
get.
we can talk about that another time. We're
They
talking
don't get
about
enough of them.
that when they do release them is like you want them to go work at a preschool. Like, oh, what's off your record? So go let this person go work at a preschool so they can do it again, right? So, come on. Like,
what you're
I see what you're
about,
saying. Okay, yeah, you get in a fight,
but
you punch someone, you get in a fight, you punch someone,
everything.
and you kill them. Okay, that was a fight. It was a mistake. You do your time.
But that's
you're
not
right,
differentiated.
Maybe. But yeah,
that's not differentiated.
Then that's where the law should step in and change it.
They
that's
don't.
They don't.
No, employers' rights. Employers have a right not to employ you based on criminal history. They have that right, and anything that you would do would be infringing on that employer's rights. You understand that part, right?
Well,
forcing an employer to hire somebody, wouldn't that be? What if you were the employer? Let's say you ran that preschool. Do you want to be told who you have to hire, or do you want to be able to say no felons?
Well,
that's the other side of the argument.
But then a felon too. But rights. A felon, like, okay, you mistake. Okay, I'm not.
This is why we can't fucking change it in America because the employers have more rights than the employees.
You misfiled your taxes, or you did a federal thing on your taxes. Okay,
those aren't felonies.
I'm just well, what did happen to Trump? He got felony charged for falsifying tax records. Okay, but saying something like that. Okay, let's not talk about anything else. Let's not change the topic. Okay, let's say like a felony like that, which is like embezzling. Somebody embezzled, and now they want to go to work in a preschool. No, that should not affect their work because you're not going to embezzle and hurt kid, right? So how
do you decide which jobs do which things?
That's where they got to look into it.
Jobs. Like,
if you're a pedophile, that should be on your record. You should get a brand on your forehead. Then let's start branding people.
It sounds like you want some specific legislation for some specific crimes, and you're not too much interested in actually changing the system on whole.
Well, like I did say, let's change the system. If it's something like that where it's a stupid charge, which is a lot of stupid charges.
But then you throw up the exception that the other side throws up as their argument.
When somebody gets put in jail for knocking over a fence,
it's not going to happen. But then you argue for the other side, so it's not going to happen. You're literally doing their arguments.
What am I? Yeah. Well, you've got to.
You can't do that. There's rapists. You want a rapist in preschool? Okay. That's their argument. Why you can't do it?
Let's lock up everybody then. Let's not try to work it out.
That's where they ended up too. They ended up with lock up everybody.
Let's not ever help.
You don't have to hire them.
Let's no trial, no nothing.
That's where they ended up. Yes, that's literally where they ended up.
But you're not even trying to negotiate. At least I'm trying to negotiate here. You're like, oh, it's either this or no. It's like, no, let's talk about it.
You have to see what kind of crimes.
Step one. Okay, but not.
And step one isn't okay. Let's carve out pedophile law first, which I guess is step one instead.
But
because it sounds like we need to legislate pedophile law before we do anything else.
Or someone goes around and they're a danger to kill somebody. Okay, yes, that's where.
Because I was thinking maybe we would start by saying felons should be able to be employed, and that's actually discrimination. Maybe we'd start there with you're discriminating based on their felony status as the step one.
And yes,
but it sounds like we can't do that unless we go through the pedophile rapist legislative.
Let's find out what the then that's where they do it. Which is going to be
considered cruel and unusual punishment. It's going to be argued down. We're never going to get past that, and that's why America doesn't change.
Canada doesn't change either.
Even people who want the change are arguing against the change. In their own argument for it, they argue against it. It's great. It's democracy in action.
There's got to be middle ground other than just.
No, we don't do middle ground. No one does middle ground. That's what I was saying. You'd have to take every crime and every profession and make a matrix. That's the middle ground you're just describing. Because you'd have to figure out, okay, well, pedophile and rape. Okay, well, what are those actual statutes? What crimes are we talking about? There's going to be a lot more than just two crimes there, right?
Spend the next 1,000 years coming up with the rules.
And then we got to figure out which places matter. Like, which places you can or can't be employed, right? Like grocery stores. Kids go in grocery stores. Is that okay? Kids don't work at grocery stores.
Yeah, but kids are not alone in grocery stores. You know?
So we have to do that with every job now.
Yeah.
Schools, okay, children are there for sure. Daycares, children are there.
God forbid politicians have to work, right? God forbid politicians have to actually think and do a little bit of work, right? Let's just pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to do shit, right? So.
I don't know that you would trust them to do that job. And in America, they leave it in the hands of the employers based on employers' rights. They just leave it simply at that. The employers have more rights than the felons.
Well, let's see what
Basically, felons don't have rights is the way we do it. But we also started out our police with slave catchers. The very first cops were slave catchers. That's actually how the profession started here. It's great.
Okay, let's see what else is on this article.
Pretty good stuff. But I do agree that I wanted this breakdown. I want to see, because if these big numbers are coming from bail, that could be an issue. We need to look at what kind of crimes are getting what bails. You know, there's certainly, you'd have that same sort of matrix where you need to look at all the different crimes.
I had a friend, Nick, and sadly he's no longer with us, but some guy who was out on bail was running from the cops, crashed into his trailer. Nick got up to see what was going on, and he saw the guy pulled a gun and shot him in the spine. He ended up being paralyzed, and then he ended up taking his life. So if that guy wasn't let go, and he was on bail for murder, for the record, so Canada's broken, and there's a huge problem here. And when people are getting affected by this stuff, and I'm not talking about the few after too, but right now, like, you got to figure something out. And again, I don't know where to start. That's a hard question. But letting criminals out that have done crime, not millions, but that have a rap sheet longer than them, they should probably keep those people in jail.
I mean, I'm not a fan of sentencing based on like the 3 strikes kind of sentencing.
Well, not 3 strikes, but they literally, in Toronto, guys are getting caught stealing cars 5-6 times in a row. And know what they're going to do? They're like, we're going to take their license away so they can't drive anymore. It's like, what's that going to do? That's their solution, is take their driver's license away. It's like, oh no, they can't steal a car now. They don't got a piece of plastic.
And what's your way of stopping them from stealing a car?
Lock them up for a few years. So. Yeah.
Do you think that works?
Well,
do you think longer sentences? Have you looked into any
letting
studies
them out? Yeah, just
sentences?
letting them out isn't working. So, and putting people at risk, having people. So,
But have you looked into any of the research on this? Because there's been research on sentencing. Have you looked at any of it?
No.
Just to see if they've already came to a conclusion about do longer sentences work. I would suggest looking into it.
Then what do we start doing? Chopping off the hand like they do in China? You steal, you eat a hand? I don't think they do that anymore. But, is that what we do? Right?
No, you fix people's material condition.
But you can't fix people. Unless they don't want to be fixed,
I'm not talking about fixing somebody who doesn't want to be fixed. I'm talking about actually, having a society that functions and provides people's basic material needs. The reason somebody's stealing a car is because their basic needs aren't being met.
Not always. A lot of people are just dumb. They just steal it because they're on a walk, and they'll just let's take it off because it's there. But,
yeah, crime of opportunities happen, sure.
So is this a breakdown?
This is just a breakdown by year.
Yeah.
So that same 256 number we were looking at, they've got 182, 198, 171. So again, that's not telling me anything.
Yeah, but the numbers are still nothing. Yeah, but the numbers are still all around there. Just jumped quite a bit last year. That was a significant jump last year. That was a huge jump compared to the last 3 years before that. But yeah, I don't know what to say.
Need more detail?
You're right. I would like to see those numbers.
Pounding liberals on the impact of their bail reform. See, again, they're talking just about bail reform. They're not even talking about bail and parole reform. They're not lumping together the reform discussion. It's one thing. So I need those numbers. They asked for those numbers.
Man, I'm
not even disagreeing with them. This is what they. Well, no, they.
No. Hopefully.
Justin Trudeau said no. This says that they submitted this question. The response wasn't that detailed. Trudeau's government only provided these figures. So unless they want to provide additional figures, they're done. Justin Trudeau's mic dropping, I think. Right? Am I wrong?
I
think he's not going to provide more.
No, he won't. Just like
he doesn't want to change. He doesn't want you to know that it's mostly bail. If it's mostly bail, he doesn't want you to know.
And it makes you wonder, if it doesn't, again, you can't say.
If you want to get conspiracy theorists, his reason not to is it's the thing you think it is.
But that's what it would seem like. That's what it seems like. if you don't want to tell someone, you don't want to give someone information that should be easy to find, that literally shouldn't be that, in the States that shouldn't be that hard to find because you have public record there. Here we don't,
So this is the bill, apparently, that changed everything. C-75. This is Trudeau's government passed this one, I assume?
Okay. I don't know that one off the top of my head, so...
This is saying this is where judges and justices of the peace were instructed by changes to federal law to practice restraint on the matter of bail. The change specifically said that those considering the case should, quote, give primary consideration to the release of the accused at the earliest reasonable opportunity and on the least onerous conditions that are appropriate in the circumstances. Wow, that's a lot of not specified things.
There's a lot of different words in there.
The judge gets to decide.
Yeah.
Earliest reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. Least onerous, meaning
appropriate
least
in the circumstances.
That are appropriate in the circumstances. Looks like it says judges and justices do what you gotta do. It doesn't seem like
I think they're hoping that people are gonna read this and see big words and just skip it. They're like, nah, I don't care. And then because they mean nothing.
If I'm a judge reading this, I haven't been mandated to do shit. I'm not getting more or less bail based on this, right? If this is my wording, I don't feel like I've been instructed to do more bail. This doesn't say do more bail.
All right.
Like,
so
the closest thing to saying that is practice restraint on the matter of bail, but that's up here, not in the quotes.
Yeah, that's like that means hey, okay, let him go or not. But yeah, it's up to judge. Which isn't that in the States too? It's up to the judge.
So they're like, hey, practice restraint, and then the judge is like, well, what do you mean by that? And they're like, well, give primary consideration to the blah, 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 this thing. And then the judge is like, all right, you just told me to just keep doing what I'm doing. All right.
So under intense pressure from the opposition and provincial governments across the country, the Trudeau Liberals agreed to toughen up bail, but only for the most serious, violent, repeat offenders. Then why are they still getting out, though? Right? That's the thing, though. They are. That means
I don't think he had an impact one direction or the other on bail. I don't think he told them more or less.
Yeah.
Like, he's saying he's toughening up on it. This doesn't look like he said do more bail. It also doesn't say do less bail. This says you're a judge.
So
do
that
whatever's
means
reasonable, least onerous, and appropriate at the circumstances. Do what you want is what this says.
So that means
so even he's lying, thinking he toughened on bail. No, he didn't.
Proceeding through the system still receive release at the earliest possible time, which the least onerous conditions. I haven't seen that
let's
word
look up. Let's look up.
I haven't seen
onerous,
that word before.
Because the way I think of it is like the least cumbersome, least
onerous. See, I wouldn't say that was onerous. Again, that's just onerous.
Involving an amount of effort and difficulty that is oppressively burdensome.
That makes so much sense.
Right.
Okay.
Because does Canada do the innocent until proven guilty?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So at this point, you're innocent, right? So that's why you want to do the least onerous conditions, because you have a potentially innocent person, right? So we don't want to be cruel and unusual with our punishment before we've known, you're guilty, because you could be innocent. Everyone's innocent until they're guilty, right? So that's the rationale for earliest possible time and least onerous is you don't know they're guilty. They've not had a day in court.
Well, so, if you chase them for like 10 bucks and you chase them down and catch them, you know they're guilty. You know,
right.
It's like.
So then that's where the appropriate in the circumstances really comes in big. That's where you have to take into consideration their likelihood to cause something to the community, the safety to the community. Is there a risk? And that's where it's truly the judge's discretion here. It sounds like that's still what it is up here. If this is really what the bill said, it doesn't sound like it's any different up there. Maybe judges are being more liberal because Trudeau's been appointing them.
I don't know if that's
that would be a good.
Yeah,
that would be a good argument.
Maybe
that would be a logical argument to say, it's not. He hasn't legislated.
I don't know
he has
how that
appointed
works.
liberal
I
judges.
don't think he appoints them, but I don't know. I'm pretty.
Yes, I don't know how Canada does. I know down here the president does appoint judges, and that can be your argument for why, you could argue.
Yeah, because it's 4-7 right now, there isn't it?
Trump appointed
5-2.
Not even just the Supreme Court. It's 6-3.
6-3.
It's not even just the Supreme Court. They also appoint all kinds of judges at a lot of levels, the state level judges and shit. Trump appointed a record number of judges. Let me see. How many judges.
Did he do 3?
I think it was 400 or something.
Oh.
How Trump's judge appointments compared to other... Oh, God damn it.
It's going to be a hard answer to find, probably.
No, it's right here.
Is it?
226.
Yeah,
174 of those were district court, and 54 of those were appeals court. And then, of course, a little sliver was the Supreme Court, like 3, whatever he did. Which I guess isn't the record, because this looks like Ronald Reagan did 358.
Huh.
I could have sworn Trump had a record. I thought he bragged about it. He lies about shit all the time, though, so maybe it was another lie. And
No, he was told. He was told it was the biggest crowd ever. He was told. Okay, come on. So he's not lying. He was told
he appointed the most judges. He didn't, but he was told.
He was told he was. I don't know. I'm just told that. So.
Caputo was set on a scale of 1 to 10. Bill C-48, which slightly tightened bail conditions, was about 1 1/4 out of 10.
1 1/4, 1 1/2.
Measures in, or 1 1/2. Sorry, this is the stupidest fucking sentence I've ever read. Whoever wrote this.
Yeah.
Just say 2.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 2. What does 1 1/2 do? The 2
doesn't. They didn't go nearly far enough in putting measures into place to keep those who would do us harm behind bars.
That's a 2 out of 10 performance. That's a dog shit 2 out of 10 solid. Not the bottom, but like dog shit right next to the bottom.
So.
That's never been the Trudeau government's view on criminal justice matters, though. It's always been about making life easier for the convicted class. Whoa. Bail is before conviction. So. We just talked about that. Conviction is after you're guilty.
Yeah.
Bail is before you're guilty. Convicted class? What the actual fuck is this?
Well, it does talk about the bill, everything else too, house arrest and parole, right? So.
Exactly. So which thing do you want to talk about, conservatives? Do you want to talk about parole or bail?
Talk about
because
it all.
they're 2 different conversations. They're 2 different conversations, though. Because you're accusing them of letting people on bail out there to do more crime, but like.
But again, like if you only get in charge for stealing a car and then you get arrested again, then released, I don't know. Maybe that's But yeah, it's pretty poor
just because you
sentence.
did one crime doesn't mean you're guilty of everything you're ever accused of.
But okay, you're right. But if you get,
maintain innocent until proven guilty,
you're right. But you get out of jail 2 days later, you get caught in a car that's been reported stolen. Yeah, you're innocent to proven guilty, but it looks like a duck. It's a duck, you know. So.
Well, yeah, and that's where it comes down to the judge, discretion. There, you've got the past history of his crime. You've got. It's been 2 days and he's doing a crime, and you have officer witness testimony kind of shit. Like, you have a lot of shit to take into consideration when you're deciding bail before you've even decided guilt.
Okay.
Case in point, when then Justice Minister David Lametti introduced Bill C-5, what's his bill naming? November 2022, he described it as giving those who made small mistakes a second chance at life. The bill was really about eliminating mandatory minimum sentences for second and third convictions of serious gun and drug crimes.
That's another funny thing too, because Trudeau's all against guns, but then he lets people out who have gun convictions. It's but
because he's against mandatory minimum sentences,
I guess. But
I mean, being against mandatory minimum sentences. I'm against mandatory minimum sentences. You know what a mandatory minimum sentence is really doing, right? It's telling the judge you can't do something. Why?
Yeah.
I thought we were giving judges the power. But now you're saying don't give them the power? I'd say the judge can decide the sentencing.
Yeah.
There's sentencing guidelines, sure. Minimums do exist, maximums do exist, and you have to do sentencing within the guidelines. But mandatory minimums? Now you're forcing someone. Now you're forcing a judge, even if it's the dumbest situation. This is like zero tolerance policies in school. Now we know you got punched. Yeah. We know you got punched, Mike. We know that you didn't punch back and that you got punched. But you and Dustin are both suspended because you were in the fight. Dustin punched you, so you were in the fight. You're both suspended. Zero tolerance, Mike.
That didn't
You're
work
suspended
here.
for 7 days. That's the kind of shit we do with zero tolerance school policies in America. The person who gets punched gets the same punishment as the punch.
See, when I was a kid, I always got the retaliation because the teacher wouldn't see the first hit, and they see me hit them back, and it's like,
well, then you're just double, right? Because like you're in the right, but they'll never believe.
Yeah, no, I never was. Yeah,
and also like 2 wrongs don't make a right. So even if they did believe you, you're still in the wrong.
So yeah,
right?
Well, we should probably finish up this story here.
Yeah, and I think that's probably it. Jesus, I hate looking over at the scroll and seeing that it's halfway. You know.
Yeah.
But look, it's just because of a picture of a shoe.
Yeah.
Holy cow! It actually is. It really is over.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Okay. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't foresee any actual change though from the Trudeau government in regards to that.
Well,
and I don't
within
see
the
change
next
there. Like,
within the next year, I'm hoping things are going to change, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
And the minimum I would like to just see is the breakdown of those numbers. We don't even have to say what we're doing or not doing. Just show me the numbers. I want to, we should be able to see. That's a freedom of information thing.
For sure.
Isn't it?
Not in Canada.
Government secrecy is not okay.
So,
government
from the
secrecy.
CBS, Bedbugs help unravel, oh my God, suspect North Texas, oh my, can't even read, never mind. Who? Anyway, Bedbugs
help unravel suspected North Texas human trafficking.
Yeah, thank you. So, I'm not. Yeah, I'm done.
Unravel.
Unreveal. I was thinking, but okay. So Bedbugs did what?
Bedbugs helped them find human traffickers? That's weird that they're capitalizing North, by the way.
North Texas.
There's not a state called North Texas, so why are you capitalizing North?
Because, yeah, you're right. Okay. So, yeah.
Is there a city? Maybe there's a city called
doesn't
North
Texas. Always have a... North is always capitalized.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure North and South and West and East are always aren't they?
What do you mean always? Like, let me.
I guess you're. Never mind. Like, no, only at the beginning of the session.
Is North always capitalized? Oh God, AI says the word North should be capitalized when it refers to a region, but not when it's used as a compass direction.
So.
Yeah. So Northern California. Oh wait, so it's saying like Northern California.
So it's correct. So,
even though there's no state called Northern California.
But it's Northern Texas. That means that northern part of Texas. Yeah, okay.
But I'm an American, and see, the thing is, we've got places called North Dakota, South Dakota.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I guess, but like I'm from Southern Alberta, right?
And so if you say North Dakota, you're gonna sound stupid.
But you wouldn't say North. I guess, yeah.
North Dakota, maybe you would. If you're talking about the north part of North Dakota, you've never been to North Dakota to watch North Dakota news.
But yeah, let's see what these Bedbugs. Let's get into it.
Oh, and it's actually Princeton, Texas. Okay.
Princeton. Okay, I don't know what that is. So.
This is Princeton, North Texas.
Yeah.
On a row of newly constructed homes in Princeton, North Texas, it seems no one noticed anything odd about the quiet 2-story brick house on Ginsburg Lane. That is until the Bedbugs arrived. Local pest control company said it got a call to treat the house. The technician told police that when he arrived, he was met by young men who showed him around the house.
Okay.
In each bedroom, he said 3 to 5 women were sleeping on the floor. In open areas of the house, he described a large amount of suitcases and no furniture beyond folding tables and air mattresses.
Huh. Yeah, that's kind of sketchy, right? So.
Why did the young man just show him in? It sounds like this young man is the criminal, no?
Yeah, the young men. Yeah, those are the people who own the house. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's what I'd assume. Check out our operation.
They want to get rid of the bed bugs, and they probably they're too stupid to realize that someone's going up and
those
hey,
people will, look at the surroundings.
And there's people who do home care, like not home care, but stuff like that, are obligated to tell. Like if they see grow-ups, I would be very suspicious, sketchy, but sometimes. But whoever came forward about this, good.
It says they sent a tip to the Princeton police. They saw 15 women living inside the home, all between the ages of 23 and 26.
Wow.
Well, obviously, they don't know that, but visually.
Guesstimating,
15 of them. And just a bunch of, short-term suitcases, air mattress kind of setup. That is weird. And so all they did was they said, hey, police, it's weird. So then I guess police must have gone there. 4 suspects, and I'm not going to try. These 4 guys were arrested on charges of human trafficking in connection to the investigation. I started looking and all their names were fucked.
Yeah, nope, we're done. So.
They're all fucked. I almost want to see you try them, but
Santosh Katkru, Deraka Gunda, Chandana Desredi, and Anil Mil. I don't know. Anil Mil? Male?
No male.
I don't know. I think I did pretty good, didn't I? Come on, so
Not bad. Yeah. I mean, I think Kakuri was maybe a little messed up. According to the arrest affidavits, police learned through interviews that the women were in what they believed were internships to learn JavaScripting or computer programming.
That seems pretty.
Whoa. Okay.
What?
That's how they entrapped them.
So
the affidavits say the women would apply for jobs, and once they got them, would have their salaries paid to a company run by Kakuri and Gunda that would take a 20% cut. It's very new to us, so we're working through it.
Now, this is what I'm thinking. Were they just setting up? Never mind. I don't know. Were they setting these people up to scam? Like, so hold them there. There's like, you have to scam people, then we're gonna take your. I don't know.
No, it sounds like they were literally teaching them Java and programming, and then saying, when you get a job, when you get hired, you have to pay us 20% of your paycheck.
Oh, and that human trafficking. But why are they sleeping on the floor and there's that many people in there? That still seems very suspicious.
Well, because they're basically giving them free housing until they find employment.
I guess, yeah.
That's why. So basically, it sounds like they're going to argue that they probably signed a contract with these people.
It doesn't matter.
They agreed to housing and JavaScripting and computer programming.
There's still standard of living laws, I'm pretty sure. And as a boss, you can't have that then.
Well, I mean, aren't you usually the guy that says contracts win?
No.
What if these ladies signed a contract?
I said contracts are good for certain things, but not all contracts are legit. So
you're saying I can't agree to stay at somebody's house in exchange, like room and board in exchange for education? I can't do that exchange? Because this is room and board for education.
But there's more to the story than that. So.
Well, yeah, because they want this thing.
20% of the cut.
They want money from you forever, which is where it gets nebulous at best.
Yeah.
Like that's where. What does the contract say? Is it forever?
Yeah. If there was a contract, but like, were they free to go? Why were they just there? You know, why would they sleep on the floor? Like, well, I guess the floor is better than the outside.
Look, so far, we just have the observations of 15 women, suitcases, and air mattresses. We don't have any chains, locks, locked doors, people tied down. We don't have anybody forced to be there right now, do we? We could have willing people doing a thing they want to be doing, right?
So let's see what.
I'm an American, so I always look at freedom first. You could put yourself in a shitty circumstance if you want. What is Scientology? They do it. You could just go there and join Scientology. You have no house, nothing, and you could just start living there somewhere. They just put you somewhere in a building.
We cannot be Scientologists because we're too broke to be Scientologists.
In exchange for that room and board on their campus forever, you give them your life. That's what Scientology. They take your life.
Like there's. Okay. It's very new. It's very new to us, so we're working through it. So yeah, it's our first time Princeton has worked a case like this. Rodriguez. I can't say. Rodriguez. Yeah, I can't.
Right.
Thank you. But yeah, it said the department is receiving help from the Department of Homeland Security, studying laptops, phones, and fake documents seized from the house. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Fake documents makes me go. Ooh.
Are they all?
We're doing a little bit more than just a consensual training program now. We're not just doing a coding boot camp. Which, by the way, you could argue this is just a coding boot camp.
Yeah, but if they're
up until they're
sneaking them into the country and trying to make fake documents,
are these people legal residents or on a visa that makes them legal residents?
Police suspect
or not, because now you're saying fake documents.
Police suspect what they found is part of a much larger operation with potentially 100 victims or more. And we believe they may have other homes in the area for this operation as well, he said. Yeah, so
that's the thing. Like this, how long has this house been there with nobody noticing?
Yeah,
and it had a bedbug problem, and a bedbug company deciding to let police know, and then police deciding to follow up on that.
See, maybe, but the thing is, maybe you're right. Maybe they thought they were these guys probably don't think they're doing anything illegal because they wouldn't. If you're running a freaking them up and change, you're not just gonna let them in. So yeah, they let them in thinking they're doing nothing illegal. Right, but
it may not be that they don't think they're doing anything illegal. It might be that they're dealing with an undocumented person. So, it changes the whole equation on what you can or can't get away with.
Look at that! The
suspects have been released on bond.
So yeah,
not bail. That's bond.
What's the difference? What's the difference between bond?
I don't know, because there's bail bondsmen, aren't there? So does that make it the same?
I don't know. I've heard that before.
Bond the same as bond. The terms, and this is not AI, this is coming from lawinfo.com, the terms bond and bail are sometimes used interchangeably, but they are not the same. Bail is paid out of the defendant's own pocket, while bonds are paid by a bail bond company.
Yeah.
Bail requires defendants to pay the full amount up front, while bond only require defendants to pay 10 to 20% of the set bail amount.
Who would give these guys bond? Yeah, because they have to agree to it, and then they make profit off it, right?
Dog the Bounty Hunter,
yeah.
Of course.
But yeah, then he goes after them when they don't pay up.
Exactly. Dog the Bounty Hunter, has to catch them because otherwise, I think he's on the line for the rest of that money, right?
Yeah, but that show was
if you're
pretty
the bond
fake.
guy, you don't catch your guy, like that money's gone. You gotta 10 to 20% can still be a lot.
That show was fake, so.
Dog is not a fake show.
Yeah.
What do you? Hold on, is that Snoped? Hold on, Snopes.
Not
Dog.
fake, but embellished. Okay, embellished.
Oh, Snopes came up with no. Dog the Bounty Hunter is not dead.
Okay. I remember when that rumor came up. There's a rumor about that.
Rumor in
Remember that?
2019, yeah, that he died from a pulmonary embolism or by taking his own life, I guess, was the rumor that was going around. No, he's still alive. Outdated. Beth Chapman death hoax. I guess they did the same with Beth.
Yeah, I don't know. But.
Okay, so I guess there is no. Is he fake? He's real. So that's what that means.
I'm not saying he's not real, but it's an embellished show for sure,
I did my Google research.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, wait, so where police suspect what they thought was part of...
Sorry, like the after,
but... What happened, the victim of the case... Cat
Curry has requested permission to travel the country on business while waiting trial. What
so
business?
This is where the judge needs to go...
Yeah.
No.
Or put an air tank in his pocket and follow him,
No, and in fact, now we're actually going to put an ankle monitor on you.
Yeah.
And you're not to leave the county.
Yeah.
You can move about the county.
I'm sorry, that's
and then
super
if you
suspicious.
Dick, now you can't even
that's
do the county.
super suspicious. Like on business, well,
yes, he wants to flee. Straight up, he wants to flee.
Yeah, and I don't want to get any hate for this, but I'm gonna go down a limb with his name. He's not actually from America. He might be American, but he's not from America. But
and they've got 4 names here.
Yeah, right? Which again. Sounds bad, but I'm guessing.
So look at that first name. I've never heard this first name.
Yeah, I'm guessing not American.
If I were to guess, I would say this is a name of Indian origin. But that would literally be a guess.
And I'd say the second one kind of looks like it too. I don't know.
I found a LinkedIn profile for a Santosh Katuri.
Did you? Oh.
For Melissa, Texas. But it says Office of the Attorney General, so that doesn't seem right.
And maybe he's a scammer too. But we should probably keep going though, because.
Oh, here we go. LinkedIn senior software engineer.
That's him.
Hyderabad, India.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that this is the same Santosh, but this is a Santosh Katkuri who is in computer programming.
Okay.
Like straight up, this is.
According to arrest, police learned through interviews that the women were in what they believe were internships to learn JavaScripting and computer programming. Oh, is this back at the top? Yeah, this is back at the top. That's why. Are we done with this article?
Oh, yeah. So, I think we were. Yeah. Okay. That was at the end there with the awaiting trial, and a hearing has been set for mid-July.
A few more days.
So he wants permission to travel, but I would say nope.
Watch. Well, we'll do a story on Monday. Be like, oh, they can't find him.
Yep. Which means he committed a crime while out on bail, which was what we were just talking about. Because fleeing the country is a crime, right? Or fleeing, not showing up to court, there's a crime somewhere in there.
Okay.
Speaking of crime, I guess we're done with Canadian stuff.
Yeah, but that
was Texas, though.
Yeah, it was Texas. We only have one Canadian tonight.
All right, from AP News, Justice Sotomayor, I just kind of mic that.
Yeah.
Security details shoots man during attempted carjacking. Authorities say. So yeah, this is one of our Supreme Court people.
Is it?
Sotomayor. Yeah, this is a Supreme Court person. So.
Where's she from? Chicago.
I actually don't know.
You'll probably tell us. Let's go down. Let's read the story.
No, let's try to answer the questions ahead of the story.
Let's get through this. We're an hour in and we haven't even hit 3 stories yet. Okay. So.
You know what? You're too worried about the clock. You need to stop looking at the clock.
It's 95 degrees, man. I'm dying here. Okay.
But how does the show ending change that? I mean,
I can go sit naked in my.
It says that she's
bathtub.
from the Bronx. She's from
New
the
York.
Bronx.
So,
she's a New York
Supreme Court Justice Sonia, security detail shot an armed man during an attempted carjacking in the early morning hours, according to court documents. It happened as two deputy U.S. Marshals were on duty in a government car in Washington, D.C. about 1 a.m. on July 5th. They were confronted by a man who got out of a silver minivan and pointed a gun at one of them through a driver's side window, according to the criminal complaint. Now, like, they probably do this for a living, these criminals. They probably weren't expecting to run into two U.S. Marshals, you know? The car was unmarked, but the pair were dressed...
I got a feeling they didn't know what they were carjacking.
The car was unmarked, but the pair were dressed in U.S. Marshal shirts. But again, they're not looking at your shirts. Criminal's not looking at your shirt. You know, like... the deputy pulled out the department-issued gun and shot the man 4 times, hitting him in the mouth. And then he gazed the man...
like an unnecessary detail, trigger warning.
Oh, yeah, there you go. He then gave the man first aid while the minivan drove away. So his friends just stitched him, right? Charged
there were multiple people?
Yeah, well, he hopped out of the minivan, right? The suspect was hospitalized and placed under arrest on suspicion of attempted There's your innocent to proving guilty. Suspicion of attempted carjacking and resisting officers. What did... that resisting officers, he probably didn't have much time to resist, because as soon as that U.S. Marshal saw the gun, he was shooting, and I don't blame him for shooting. You know, it's like if someone's pointing a gun at you, yeah, shoot him. So
yeah, and it's like resisting.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe he said stop, and the guy he pulled up the gun more. We don't know, right?
Yeah, all it takes is the officer issuing a lawful command, and you have resisting. So it's a pretty low bar, and also that's not going to be the charge that really carries the weight. Neither is carjacking, really. There's got to be another charge here, right? Brandishing your gun at a government
official. Yeah,
it's got to be a thing. A government employee.
Attempted robbery of a police. Isn't that a bigger robbery on GTA? Come on, right?
Right. So a spokeswoman for the U.S. Marshal's Office confirmed the deputies were part of the detail protecting Supreme Court justices. I don't think these criminals knew that, though. I'm guessing they did.
They're probably going up and down the road, saw them sitting there idling, as a crime of not a crime of opportunity, but they go around looking for this, and then that's when they get you out and take you, right?
Yeah.
So, right? Yeah.
And the other reason I think that is because this next line here, Sotomayor was not directly mentioned in court documents, and there's no indication she was the target of the attack. She probably wasn't even in the car. It was 1 a.m.
I'm guessing it was oh shit. We didn't realize they were cops, you know, like...
Right, I mean, we've all been there in GTA RP.
Yeah, things happen, right?
And Sotomayor is 70 years old, so 1 a.m., I would assume she in bed, right?
Yeah, more than likely. I was in bed, right?
So this comes after a string of high-profile carjackings. I didn't know we had a string of high-profile carjackings in the nation's capital. Other victims include a diplomat from the UAE, U.S. Representative Henry Cuellar of Texas.
Secret Service agents protecting President Joe Biden's granddaughter also opened fire after 3 people tried to break into an unmarked Secret Service vehicle last year. No one was struck. So I'm thinking
stormtrooper ended, I guess, on that one.
Exactly. But I'm thinking most of these, they don't realize their government officials are related to that stuff.
I think that is. It's a surprise Pikachu moment. And then they immediately start getting shot at. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, time to go.
Because they ain't fucking around. I mean, this is Joe Biden's granddaughter.
So the overall number of carjackings is on the decline so far this year. Now, I'm going to state this.
Yeah, but these are high profile.
But no, then again, half the time when there's a carjacking now, they're like, are you hurt? They'll be like, nope. They'll be like, okay, call your insurance. They don't even show up anymore. So, of course, the carjacking's down because they're not reporting them because they don't even show up anymore. They don't have the police or the time to deal with the car theft, you know? Unless someone's been injured.
Police data and how much is actually in the reporting or not in there has always been a problem.
Now, we can look at the insurance claims. I think we'd get bigger numbers.
But even insurance tries to lie and gives us fake
But how many claims have there been? Yeah, because they want you to think they claim more than they have. But again,
some people don't make a claim because it'll increase your premiums. So some people are like, it's not. I don't want it because it'll increase my insurance.
I was done with that. I was done with that car anyway, right? So all right. Well,
but what if they? So I'm seeing they keep saying unmarked. What if we don't say it's Joe Biden? You know, don't say who's in the car, but like give some indication so that these people who want to do crimes know that it's a more serious
But then again,
crime
it puts But then you're right. Don't say it's a I don't know.
They have no idea they're doing a more serious crime. Obviously, they've decided to do a crime.
Yeah.
But like, can we consider that? I mean, we talked about putting a label on other things to help fix problems. This is just putting a label on a car.
Now this happened a few years ago in a
like
small city outside.
The plates of the car.
This happened a few years ago, side city here. Some mom pulled into 7-Eleven and walked in the store to get a coffee. Left the car running. She left her daughter in the back seat. Some guy hopped in the truck and sped off. About 2 minutes into it, he looked back and was like, "Oh shit, there's a kid in the back." So he literally drove the car back to the 7-Eleven, parked it, and hopped out as she was standing there, and he ran. Because he's like, I wanted to steal a car, not a kid. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, and honestly,
the mom should be charged.
Might be screwed, but like.
Yeah, the mom should be charged with child neglect too, 100%. Because you should never leave your car running with a. Don't leave your kid in the car, but don't leave your car running with a kid in the car.
Like, that's so much going bad and dumb there on the mom's fault. It's like, I feel like you need some neglect charge to teach that mom, hey, you are a parent.
The guy literally turned around and was like, nope, I don't want to I didn't want to steal a child. I wanted to steal this car. So
as long as he's not going to get caught doing that.
Yeah. Well, no, he seemed like he probably would have been fine. Hey, guys, I'm sorry.
Because honestly, if all you want to do is take a car, that to me, you don't want to hurt people.
No.
So I'm not going to try to stop you. Obviously, you're fleeing something, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to know, because I think as soon as I know, I'm part of the crime. So don't tell me what you're fleeing. Also, I don't have a car, so what do you...
Okay.
Anyways,
that's it, I think.
Yeah, so this is I just thought it was interesting that it covered a lot of types of topics we've talked about before, weirdly enough. This next one actually is pretty quick.
Yeah, you can take that one.
You were worried about how long it was taking. I found one.
Now we're going too fast. Slow down, man. Come on. Ronnie Narron.
From C N N.
Okay, Joe Biden. So.
Hip hop pause. Say the line again. Hip hop band Cypress Hill to perform with London Symphony Orchestra, decades after Simpsons gag predicted it.
The Simpsons
did
it again. See, know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking people are looking at The Simpsons for ideas. They're going over the last 35 years of The Simpsons and be like, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea. So.
Yeah, I guess this is Cypress Hill.
Yeah.
Simpsons version. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
Did you pre-read this?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, shit. So you nailed it.
Did I? So.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you pre-read it?
So
I guess
Cypress
you did,
Hill performed slightly. Cypress Hill performed with the London Symphony Orchestra in a 1996 episode of The Simpsons titled Homerpalooza. That's 28 years old.
Yeah, wow.
Back way to go. Which means Cypress Hill is old as hell.
Yeah, I didn't think there were
people.
I didn't realize that. Jeez.
We mostly know classical, but we could give it a shot. Conductor of the Symphony Orchestra tells hip-hop group Cypress Hill when discussing a potential collaboration in a 1996 episode of The Simpsons.
Homerpalooza, yeah.
Now, 28 years later, the two acclaimed ensembles are making it happen, performing together in real life at London's Royal Albert Hall on Wednesday night. That's tonight.
Wow, cool. 700. The Simpsons had 770 episodes. Wow.
Wait, where did it say that?
Right there. Yeah, related article. Now almost 770 episodes in. Almost, but yeah.
Wow. That is kind of crazy.
They're not. No, I was actually talking to one of my coworkers about The Simpsons today, and I think The Simpsons stopped being funny in about 2008. I think that's the problem. When
it's not very funny.
It's not. Maybe just because we're older. Maybe that is it. But it's not the same as it used to be, right? I still will watch it, but I just watch it because it's been my routine for my whole life, But
yeah. So Be Real, a member of the Cypress Hill. Why is it saying pioneering? Be Real, a member of Cypress Hill, posted to X. Tonight we are rocking with the at London Symphony at Royal Albert Hall. I can't speak in ads.
Yeah.
Well, inspired. Yeah. This is where I was like, yeah, I think you're probably right. Inspired by Simpsons via Homerpalooza episode. Literally saying we're doing this because of the episode.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure that maybe that happened.
That's him saying it on X. Yeah. So, in the episode, Cypress Hill accidentally booked a gig with the famed London Symphony Orchestra, possibly while high.
Yeah. After brief discussion, the two musical groups played a rendition of the band's hit in 1993, "Insane in the Brain." Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's kind of neat. So, I'm looking forward to seeing it on YouTube later. Were you reading something there?
Hello, bands. Who is playing with the London Symphony Orchestra? Come on, people. Somebody order the London Symphony Orchestra. Possibly.
Oh, sorry, I was just trying to find it. Can you hear that?
Yeah, but I think we're gonna get kicked off.
That's
so.
all I can legally
Yeah.
play. No, I was watching the clock. That's all I can legally play, but you heard it. The sounds on top of the other sounds. I'm gonna watch that clip later myself.
Yeah.
But
I remember it now.
Didn't we completely broadcast something illegally once?
Yeah, and we got a note on our thing, so.
Tickets are sold out. You can't go.
Yeah, well,
It's tonight.
yeah.
You can't go. And if you wanted to
It
go,
already
it's
happened, actually.
$165.
It already happened because it's Thursday.
How many times is that gonna go off?
Is that?
My dryer has gone off 9 times now.
Jeez.
It just keeps going off every 3 minutes or something.
Jeez. Cool. I forgot what I say now. So yeah, let's move on.
But yeah, well, 165.
Oh yeah, no, it's Thursday in London. It's Thursday in the UK right now, so it's already done.
Oh, is that where this?
Yeah.
That's where this is.
Right? So
Maybe, I guess, yeah. Freaking UK people. All right.
now I don't remember talking about this, but we will talk about it now. But from ABC News, a woman who receives a pig kidney transplant plus a heart pump has died. Now we did talk about a guy who got a pig heart and a person about a pig. We talked about that, but I don't remember a woman getting it. Do you?
Well, no, and this is a kidney, which is obviously, I think, a much different thing. Obviously, still difficult.
Yeah.
And also, it has this heart pump component, which.
Two things. So it's
That's
very
double.
hard. It's very hard to see what could have caused this, right? So.
And I know when we were talking about the pig heart, it was like a first ever kind of thing. It was like.
Yeah. Well, that was the second time.
I don't know.
The second time.
Or second time. It was a revolutionary kind of thing, though.
But I think
I'm not sure if that's still true with kidneys.
No, I don't think so.
We'll
I think it's been happening for a bit. I'm pretty sure it's been happening for a bit.
I'm hoping the story tells us a little more here. Is this the lady?
I believe it was, yeah. So.
Man, I can never trust these stories. It just says
catch up. That's pretty poor taste.
Yeah.
Like she's like, I'm catching up on the ABC News.
So, a woman who received a pig kidney transplant along with an implanted device to keep her heart beating, pacemaker, has died. Her surgeon announced Tuesday. Lisa Pisano was near death from kidney and heart failure when surgeons at NYU Langone Health performed the dramatic pair of surgeries in April. The New Jersey woman initially seemed to be recovering well, but about 47 days later, doctors had to remove the pig kidney and put Pisano back on dialysis after the organ was damaged by her heart medications.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so that's the unfortunate part. So the kidney failed, but not because not just because of it being the pig, but because of the heart medication. So
yeah, complications with her other needs, and it's like, well, yeah, a pig kidney can serve if you don't have this happening kind of situation. That's really shitty.
Despite dialysis and implant heart pump, Pisano eventually entered hospice care and died Sunday.
Yeah, that really sucks. Because apparently there was no human transplant, obviously.
Well, yeah, the kidneys are hard to come by, you know? Like...
I don't know.
Yeah, well, like, I'm sorry.
Fortunately,
like,
this
I'm
is
glad
good that I don't know. Because people that do know probably know for reasons they
I actually have a friend.
I
have a friend. She donated a kidney to her friend, right? And for a year it was going well, but unfortunately, about 2 months ago, he just lost a kidney. So
that sucks.
Yeah,
that's the really shitty thing. And this one said 47 days too. Yeah. Like you can think everything's golden, everything's good to go. For even like the first 40 days, probably felt like everything was fine. You know? Yeah. So and then all of a sudden, nope, it's not fine at all. So it'd be really cool if we got really good at doing.
Montgomery praises her bravery for attempting the latest pig organ to human experiment. Yeah.
Xenotransplantation. That's the same word we saw last time.
Is it? Yeah. That's crazy. The researchers aims to one day shore up the dire shortage of transplantable organs. Which,
absolutely. If we could use pig kidneys, you know how many pigs we have?
No,
and we could mass produce pigs for this purpose and not feel bad about it.
And you can use quite a bit. Well, people are still there'll still probably be a lot of people who don't like it, but a human life is much superior than a pig's life.
I don't have a qualm with that trade-off, but I do know what you mean. There's definitely people who'd be like, you can't value them literally equal.
And then when they get
not.
and then like not wish anything but karma when they get a kidney infection or something, lose a kidney, be like, oh well, you don't want a pig then. I don't wish on anybody though. Honestly, I do not wish any illness like that on anybody.
Look, to be fair, if I need a kidney, I'd like a human one.
Yeah, but many people are gonna donate your kidney. I don't think I know anybody.
Brother.
Yeah, does he like you?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out. I guess how much, right?
He owes me one. I gave him one.
Yeah, remember when I beat that bully up for you? Yeah. Back in April, the 54-year-old told the AP News that she knew the pig kidney might not work, but I just took a chance. And worst case scenario, if it didn't work for me, I might have worked for someone else.
And they might learn from this.
Yeah, it might,
work or not work. Either way, they get to learn from it.
And that's where experimental things comes in. Sometimes it sucks, but even this and like the neural link and all these things, it's not gonna work 100 for everyone right away. But they can learn from it every single step. And brave people like this, like, hey, you know what? I'm probably gonna die anyway. Let's take a shot, right? That's it. Yeah.
And hey, this article does cover what I was talking about. This is Pisano was the second patient ever to receive a kidney from a gene-edited pig.
Gene-edited too, yeah. So.
Whatever that means. The first, Richard Slayman, Rick, received his transplant at Massachusetts General Hospital and died in early May, nearly 2 months later.
So roughly.
So again, it lasted a little while,
days,
but not a permanent thing. His doctor has said he died of pre-existing heart disease, not as a result of the transplant. Again, it sounded like she was also doing heart medication, so it's like having an additional complication. It's hard to just say, here's an organ and everything will be fine.
And
your other organ has a problem.
And that's the thing, though. Like, you're putting a foreign object in your body that's already going to have to work super hard to keep it alive and make it add your body. It's going to mess up other parts. So that's where they got to learn where they can make it.
But here's where it would really help. More than 100,000 people are on the U.S. transplant waiting list. Most who need a kidney, and thousands die waiting. So the majority of those 100,000
you're not going to, So
wait, how much of waiting list is kidney?
Forever, 10 years?
Oh, the AI answer, that's helpful. It says between 87 and 95% of the waiting list are kidneys specifically. So it's the most sought after organ. I believe that number, even though that's the AI number, right? It says currently there are around 93,000 people on the kidney list, and this is saying 100,000 people on the transplant list. So that kind of checks in. Several biotech companies are genetically modifying pigs so their organs are more human-like, less likely to be destroyed by people's immune systems.
Yeah. So that's.
Are you okay with a pig-human hybrid? Because that's what they're talking about.
I'm just gonna save my life, maybe. Yeah. And I won't risk anybody else's life. Like
as long as we don't suddenly start trying to value these pig humans the same as human humans.
What do you mean? Like.
Well, you can't start saying that human life equals pig human life.
So, I'm missing what you're saying there. So.
If we're making these things purely to take their organs, we have to say we value human life over the life of these things.
Yes, 100%, and that's the thing though. But we do that with
the making them human-like.
We have pig farms for bacon, right? So that's the same thing.
What if these pigs start speaking language? What if they start saying words?
Well,
do we keep doing it? Do we keep taking their organs?
Then you figure out a way for them to get rid of their tongue so that doesn't happen. So they're,
don't take my kidney. I don't consent, Mike. That's my kidney. He screams as you take his kidney.
Well, they won't know how to talk, hopefully. So.
Hopefully, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, what if though that happens? Like we're screwed, right? You're saying
so. Still, with doctors learn from those attempts, along with research in donated bodies, have them hoping to begin formal critical trials sometimes next year with patients who aren't quite so sick. Yeah, I guess. Hey, that's good.
Oh yeah, this is actually talking about the pig heart one.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, so I want them to keep trying this stuff. I mean, all we can do is learn from the attempts.
Yeah, and you gotta try it, right? So.
And obviously, you get the consent of these patients, and these are patients who basically have no other option.
Like, hey, you can do this, or you can hope for the best, right?
And
like, hey.
You could still argue that's kind of cruel, but like, isn't it also cruel to say no? You don't get any options.
Gives them a hope. It gives them a chance, But yeah, I think we actually have 2 more stories. One a little serious, one not so serious. So let's
start
with serious.
Serious.
From the CBC. Leave Gaza City now. Israel military warns Palestinians an evacuation order. This has changed, I think, because I looked at it earlier and it was saying something else. But
yeah, I was gonna say this changed. I was literally wanting to say.
Isn't this what the pier? Was it about the pier leaving?
Yeah, this was supposed to be the pier gets removed.
Okay, so anyway, let's go with it. Gaza City will remain a dangerous combat zone, says leaflets drop from the sky. Yeah, what the heck? I don't understand what happened here. Updated 6 hours ago too. Something's fishy about this, so.
Yeah, see, even when I put in the link, it says Gaza aid pier in the link.
Yeah, I know.
It literally was an aid pier. Okay, well that's fine. Let's go down because that's why I was covering. I wasn't covering it for evacuation. They've been doing this for every place they've been bombing. Like, get out of Rafah. We didn't do that story. Get out of Al Quds. We didn't do that one. Get out of Khan Yunis. We didn't do that one. I wouldn't. It's kind of boring at this point. They just keep making you move and bombing the place you just were. If you got out, good. If not, you got bombed. Anyways, this image from a video shows a boy sitting amongst rubble in Yarmouk Sports Stadium Friday in Gaza City, Gaza.
Okay.
Military issued an evacuation order on Gaza City. Yeah, it doesn't really look like a city. I don't even know what I'm looking at. So the Israeli military urged all Palestinians to leave Gaza City and head south Wednesday, pressing ahead with a fresh offensive across the north, south, and center of the embattled territory. This killed dozens of people over the past 48 years. Why do they spell center that way?
48 hours, so I don't know.
48 hours. I mean, I don't understand. Is this like the British way of doing it, where you put things wrong, or you like add a U to color?
What are you talking about? So,
like, how do you spell center?
CENTR, like that, center. So.
You just said CENTER.
Oh yeah, center. You're right. That's a typo.
R-E.
That's a typo then. So yeah. So.
Well, I mean, it's technically a word though.
Is it? So okay, well.
It means something different though.
Yeah, center. I don't know. I guess I don't know. So yeah, my bad. I guess that's not. But. Yeah. So the stepped up military activity came as U.S., Egypt, and Qatar meditors met with met with Israel officials in the Qatar capital, Doha, for talks seeking a long. I can't do words when they're broken like that. So long-inclusive. Is that right? Ceasefire. Yeah, long-inclusive ceasefire deal with Gaza. Hamas military group in exchange for the release of dozens of Israel hostages. The hostages are dead. They're not there anymore. If they are there, there's not many left. Like, what's going on with this? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly to keep pretending that that's like a negotiating point or something that like. I don't know. This is another one of those things where it's. What are we listing here? U.S., Egypt, and Qatar. Yeah. These are not the players who matter, and they're meeting with Israeli officials. So. Again, not the players that matter. In Qatar, Doha. I mean, I don't see Benjamin Netanyahu's name.
Yeah.
I'll say it every single time we talk about an agreement or a ceasefire or anything. And I've been right.
Until, what?
Let's reflect on how right I've been about that. They have not stopped. And it is because Benjamin hasn't said stop.
Biden
Everyone
comes
else
out.
Can say stop.
Biden comes out like, there's going to be a ceasefire because I said so. Yeah, they don't give a shit, so.
Biden tried to use it as a bragging point on the debate. He actually tried to brag. I put together the Israeli thing. Or like he tried to brag about it. No, you did nothing. Yeah. You did something Benjamin looked at and wiped his ass with and then laughed at you.
For the record, Joe Biden also said no soldier died under his watch, which is his presidency, which is also a lie. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, even during the evacuation, didn't a couple soldiers die?
14 to 13 of them. And yeah,
the best evacuation of all time, I still say.
Yeah, so.
Here's what it is. The best evacuation of all time. And really now looking like the only good thing Joe did.
No.
So Israel says it's pursuing Hamas fighters that are regrouping in various parts of Gaza 9 months into the war. Yeah, we've been doing this for 9 months.
Okay. I'm almost done. We can skip this if you want.
Yeah, I kind of want to see if this even mentions the freaking pier. So America went and spent tons of money, my money.
Yeah.
They spent tons of my money to go build a pier, and the intent of that pier was so that they would have a place to bring in.
No. For the record, the pier broke apart, and they had to rebuild it twice, I think, too. So.
Yeah, it started breaking, and they had to rebuild it, and now they're just taking it out. It's just, we're done.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was placed there in response to our first attempt to give aid through airdrops, where we dropped packages on people's heads, killing some number of people.
Yeah, I'm pretty
with aid.
I had a different opinion.
I'm laughing at that because you have to laugh or you'll cry.
Yeah, I had a different thing with that. I thought it was just a reason for them to get involved in the war, because they'd be not on the ground because they're on the pier, right? And then Hamas is gonna throw a grenade towards them, and now they cannot get involved unless they get attacked. Hamas throws a grenade. Now they're involved. Boom.
Yeah, we love doing that. We love getting ourselves involved.
Put yourself in the middle of somebody.
You made me.
Yeah, you put yourself in the middle of a gunfight and get hit. You're like, how dare you? And then right? So it doesn't say anything though. But yeah, anyway, it looks like from what I saw, they're removing the pier, right? But I don't know.
Yeah. Apparently, this article is also talking about the other news. They bombed a schoolyard. It was pretty cool. And I saw the video of the kids just playing soccer before it hit.
Yeah.
They don't care if people actually evacuate before they drop the bombs. They're just killing. Military blames civilian deaths on Hamas because the militants fight in dense urban areas.
Well, you did now. I know I hate Hamas, but they did blow up everywhere else, so there's nowhere else to go. So, yeah. But
I mean, you understand how big Gaza is, right?
Well, it's not just.
And how many people were in there before they started forcing.
For sure, but I'm saying that. But yeah, I'm saying, but now they're forcing people everywhere because they blew up everywhere else.
I mean, everything's a dense urban area at this point. It was before.
Yeah.
Before.
But even
I know 5 square miles. This is like a 5 square mile territory.
But even
with
before
5 million people in it.
Even before they had a little,
let's see,
2 million, I think.
Is it 2 million?
Yeah, I believe it was around there somewhere.
As of 2017, the Gaza population is 590,000. Can I have anything sooner?
Yeah, that seems pretty low. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's around. Which 2 million would seem too high then, because that would be like 75% growth. Like what?
Well, yeah, that's what. Like, okay, now hold on. Now I put in Gaza Strip. Maybe Gaza and Gaza Strip actually matters if you put that thing. Now it says 2020 closer. Yeah. 2.048 million.
Yeah, so 2 million people. So.
Which sounds like kind of where you're saying.
Yeah.
And the Wikipedia says 2.141 million, so that may be the current number, which wouldn't be an alarming jump in numbers.
No, but 500,000 to 2 million, yes.
So you've got 2 million people living in a 5 square mile place. I mean, or more specifically, what is this? 365 kilometers squared, whatever that means. So a density of 5,967 per kilometer squared.
All right, but yeah.
I wish I understood density math better because I know I said the right thing.
No, it's not. It's not big. It's not big.
Mean.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
So like, yeah, everywhere. Like, so how are you blaming Hamas for the dense urban areas? Like,
I said I'm not. Yeah, okay, there. My bad. Yeah, okay.
Like they just kind of throw Hamas in there. Like, no, it's inherently dense. Had Hamas never existed, it's still a dense urban area. It always is. It's still a small number of people in a small area, or a large number of people in a small area.
But it doesn't look like it's going to talk about the pier, unless I can't tell. I don't know, but this is ridiculous.
City. Pier being pulled out. There
we go.
There we go. So it says the pier built by the U.S. military to bring humanitarian aid to Gaza will be reinstalled Wednesday to be used for several days, but then the plan is to pull it out permanently. So we're going to put it back in today. Today's Wednesday. Use it for a few days and then pull it out. What? This makes even less sense to just like.
Now, question. Now, before you look, how much do you think that pier cost to make?
50 billion.
Well, yeah, I didn't think you were gonna say that high. 320 million. So.
Okay, so less than I thought.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, 320
like,
million.
I don't know, 50
yeah.
billion. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
You just throw billions at things.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, yeah, maybe they did, and it can only cost 320, but they signed 50 billion to the contract.
So they said the goal is to clear whatever aid has piled up in Cyprus and on the floating dock offshore and get it to the secure area on the beach in Gaza. Once that has been done, the army will dismantle the pier and depart. The officials spoke on condition of anonymity because final details are still being worked out.
Now watch, this is when that grenade's gonna go flying over the fence, and boom, and they're like, yeah, we're not leaving now. So.
Well, I mean, do we really want to be there though?
Uh-huh.
I don't think we do.
I don't know. There seems a lot of weird shit going on. They're like, hey, that could be the 51st state. You know what I mean? So.
That's not how naming it a state before Puerto Rico. Are you out of your fucking mind right now?
But they move in, like boom, like that 51st state, Palestine.
But they wouldn't name it a state. Are you crazy?
A territory. Sorry, a territory.
They would
there.
name it a territory, just like Guam and Puerto Rico and all those other people who don't get representation, but in fact get taxation. The thing that we bitched at King George about.
And don't they? Yeah, you do the same thing. And
They don't get
and
states.
Don't they get a Congress? One Congress or
You're starting to sound like radical Joe Biden.
Don't they get one Congress person too? Usually territory. Or no?
You're a territory. You get nothing.
No, I don't know.
If you were a state, you would get representation.
So,
I think some of the territories might, just because we felt nice, or guilty.
Yeah.
But like if you were a state, you would get 2 senators guaranteed. Every state gets 2 senators.
You know what? History repeats itself, right? Just different names. History repeats itself, and that's exactly what this is. Other than calling them colonies, they're territories. Okay, well, so 320 million wasted. How much food actually got in? I don't know. But
I mean,
how much aid?
8.6 million kilograms of food. This is what this says, 8.6. Yeah. But I mean, again, that just says gotten into Gaza. But
was it given to the people?
Actually,
was it wasted? Right. So.
Right. I mean, was it destroyed by settlers? Because I've seen footage of all these things. So like, how much of it really got distributed? They didn't have a distribution system in place. There was no system in place to get this aid to every person.
And so apparently, and this is where it's really low. You only gave Gaza roughly 404 million in life-saving humanitarian aid to support Palestine. So
we gave 400 million for that, and we give how much to Ukraine?
Well, 310 billion to Israel. So that went from million to billion, and then Ukraine. Let's just see Ukraine for the fun of it. Now that right here. And of course, it's not going to give me an easy answer. How much?
Oh, here's a diagram of how the U.S. military was expecting to deliver aid. Large pieces of steel are locked together to create an offshore pier and causeway.
So yeah, they're not on ground yet. So.
So we got these big metal things. Make a pier, boats.
Okay, only 44 billion to Ukraine compared to 302 to Israel.
So you got a big boat shows up next to this little square thing, and then you get trucks can truck it over to the little boats, and then these little boats can actually take it. These are the large U.S. ships, offload food and supplies. Over here, to this thing, which has more trucks on it. Cargo is then transported to land.
That seems like a lot of waste of time and money. Is this like a tap game? One of those tap games where you're like, oh, let's get the boat here, let's do this. Like, what the frig, you know? Empty trucks return to fetch more cargo. Oh, I don't know. It seems kind of. And we keep going down. Let's see. Let's see. So they're on land. They said they're not. They said they're not on the ground, but that's U.S. troops on ground, isn't it?
Well, presumably, who's in these trucks otherwise?
I don't know. But. Right there, the cargo then transferred to land. The U.S. troops weren't expecting to step foot on the. Weren't expecting to step foot. So they are, but they weren't expecting to.
Yeah, they are, but so we built this whole thing with the intent of we won't have to step foot on
and Joe Biden said we will not step foot
in
Gaza.
He said that. Step of this, and the very last step of this really expensive, dumbass thing is
going on land.
Hold on. So, step foot on Gaza.
Yeah, ridiculous.
You could have just. Why did you even have a fucking pier, you asshole idiots?
Because it probably cost.
Why did you build the pier starting here?
It probably
Why
cost
doesn't
them.
the boat just land here?
It probably cost them $10 million to make the pier, and someone else pocketed the rest of the money.
This big
Let's
boat.
face it. So.
Give me a pencil. I can erase this whole thing and all these stupid little cargo boats and take this big boat and copy and paste it down to right here.
Well, maybe it's a little bit deeper, but yeah, okay. But or you can just
extend this out a few blocks.
Or you can or you can just lower the boats down, and have the small boats go to, right? Like
You've got 7 boats here that I don't need. I don't need those 7 boats. Also, arguably, these 3 trucks.
Yeah.
I need a big boat and I need these trucks.
Yeah, those trucks make sense.
Because we're gonna step foot on the ground. Apparently, nobody realized that was always the last step.
We all knew that was gonna happen. I knew right away when I heard that.
So why did we build a fucking pier with my money? Anyways, they suspend deliveries in June.
Yeah.
Bad weather. On June 28th, they had to stop it because
the pier broke. Yeah.
And then they moved to the port of Ashdod in Israel. So they just straight up went to an existing pier, defeating the whole thing. And at that point, the aid had already stopped. So. They also suspended it on June 9th.
Yeah, so
because the Israel military wanted to use it, it looks like, for that one. And then we said, no, we didn't use it for the raid. We just couldn't use it for anything else because the raid was happening. You understand the difference?
Yeah.
We didn't use it, but you couldn't use it while we were doing it, so we didn't use it. We promise. We definitely promise we didn't use it.
So yeah, that's that. I guess
they definitely used it.
Spending money,
used
spending money, helping nobody. That's what they're doing. Because let's face it, this isn't helping many people in Palestine. Most of that food's probably getting destroyed or something before it even gets to them. So
it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen us spend so much money on. Because there are ways to get aid that we could be doing. This is a joke. This is us pretending we can't do more than
Why
this.
not through Egypt?
This is just
right?
silly.
Why not through Egypt? But
well, I mean, if you want to go through one of the borders, you'd have to work with Israeli officials. You know?
I get Egypt and Gaza.
So. I mean, Israel controls the Israeli side of that border.
Okay.
Rafah was the place that just got bombed. Remember?
Yes,
they took that. That is no longer under anyone's control except the IOF. The Israeli Offensive Forces, or Israeli Occupying Forces, whatever you want to call them. Just don't say IDF. Nothing defensive about what's going on.
All right, well.
Going all the way down here to bomb Rafah, which is right next to Egypt, you're not being defensive at all. So anyways, our stupid pier's done. End of the pier, no more piers.
We'll see. Watch it.
It says they're taking it out.
Yeah,
though,
but
right?
if someone gets hit by a bullet, a stray bullet or something,
you're right.
I don't know.
You gotta wait and see if Mike's predictions are. I hope it's not. Just
I hope it's not
so
either.
Silly. I don't want to send military boots on the ground. This is already silly enough that we're sending tax dollars.
You know, Joe Biden.
You said we're going to with something light. So
start light. Joe Biden wants a war so he can be like, no, we can't have an election during the war. You know, so.
He could declare martial law, right?
Yeah.
Emergency.
I don't think that's even happened. Even during World War II, they still had an election, right? But
you could, it's there, right?
So speaking of Biden, we can talk about Trump too, but take the last article away.
Oh, I thought you wanted to do this one. The light one.
You start us. I did the last one. You start us. You finish us.
We don't do taking turns. From Fox News, Trump challenges Biden to golf match. Says he'll give $1 million to charity if he loses.
Remember during the debate?
Handicaps?
That was when they were both more interested in the debate than anything. When Joe Biden said, "I have a handicap of 6," and Trump was like, "Bullshit, you do." You know?
You bullshitter, you ain't got. They both have somebody drop the goddamn ball on the grass for them. You know that.
But
they both have people who lie to them.
Yeah.
They probably believe their actual golfing prowess. Meanwhile, there's a dude over there like.
They said I got a hole in one. You know, they said I had it. Like I didn't see the ball
because
going.
They ran out of balls, so they couldn't put another one down. You understand that, right? They needed to find a couple more.
So Trump and Biden sparred over their handicap in the June 27th debate. They did.
Yeah, I was actually trying to read that when you said when you interrupted me about this exact thing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, they did this.
Now, do they have to carry their own bags? Because remember, Biden was like, "I'd like to see you carry your own bag." Biden wouldn't be able to carry his own bags. And you know what? When I golf, I don't carry my own bag. I put it in the golf cart, you know? It's like, come on.
Is that part of the sport? Is walking and carrying part of the sport?
No,
I don't play golf. It's not a real sport anyways.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, I'm just quoting George Carlin. The late, great George Carlin said, golf is not a sport. It's not a sport. It's a hobby.
After the two presidential candidates got into a heated discussion about their golf handicaps, former President Trump now wants to walk the walk. So Joe Biden called him out. Trump was like, let's do it. Yeah,
so at his rally, at his Doral course in South Florida. So he was at a golf course when he did. Yeah. The 45th president challenged President Biden to a golf match, even offering $1 million to a charity of Biden's choice if he were to lose. I'm officially challenging Crooked Joe for an 18-hole golf match right here on Doral's Blue Monster, considered one of the greatest tournament golf courses anywhere in the world. One of the greatest golf courses of the world. It will be among the most watched sporting events in history. Maybe bigger than the Ryder Cup.
I think pay-per-view that stuff. Come on, you know,
pay-per-view. We could get involved with the UFC pay-per-view.
And my thought here: whoever wins a golf match is the next president of the United States.
Look, I want them to do it because of, and I want them to walk it and carry everything because I want them to physically. I want them to. Is it okay to say you want old people to die?
No, you don't want them to die.
Well, it's not okay to say that, so I guess I won't say it.
Yeah. So, what did Joe Biden respond?
Give Joe Biden 10 strokes aside. I don't know what that means.
That means
sexual.
No, maybe.
That sounds sexual.
So in golf, quick thing for golf, if you don't know. But yeah, you want a lower number. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna give Joe Biden a -10 before they start because they want the lowest number, right?
That means 20 strokes in case you don't play golf.
Yeah. So,
by the way, that doesn't help me.
Yeah.
That's Trump trying to help me. Now you said 20 strokes, but give him 10 strokes.
20 strokes aside, I don't get that. But
that means 20 though.
And if he wins, I will give the charity of his choice $1 million. And I bet he doesn't take the offer. Yeah.
All right. So Biden didn't respond, but James Singer did. Whoever that guy is.
Yeah.
Spokesperson. Donald Trump hasn't been seen in public for 12 days. Now he's inviting fictional serial killers to dinner, teasing little Marco Rubio, praising Project 2025 architect Tom Homan, and challenging the President of the United States to golf.
Okay, let's see this. He was talking about Hannibal Lecter, whatever his name is, and he I forget the exact quote, but he didn't invite him to supper. He said some weird things. I'm not going to deny it, but he didn't invite him to supper. And for the record, why would Trump? Biden was digging himself a hole over the last 12 days since the debate. Biden just kept digging himself a more and more bigger hole. Trump just decided to disappear because why wouldn't he? He didn't do bad at the debate. He didn't do good at the debate, but he didn't do bad. So stay away. Let Joe Biden dig his grave. And what are you looking at? What the quote was?
I'm trying to find the quote. We wanted to talk about the serial killer quote, and you don't know what he said.
Praising Project 2025. Again, I saw the Truth Social about that. He's like, I don't have a clue what it's about, but good luck with it, I guess. So he said he does. That's not praising it. But, so they're not going to take him up. They're not going to accept the golf challenge?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
This doesn't say praising Project 2025.
Okay.
Praising Project 2025 architect Tom Homan. This is one of those things that connects him directly to Project 2025, while he sits there and says, "No, I don't know anything about that." But somehow he knows everyone who is directly involved in it. He knows them all and directly knows them. Just one of those things. Like, I don't know anything about it, but you know everyone who's in the club. Fuck you. You're lying, liar. You know what it is. But also, here's the quote: "Has anyone ever seen The Silence of the Lambs? The late great Hannibal Lecter." I'm sorry, wait, what? The late great Hannibal Lecter?
Okay.
There's more to the quote, but like up to this point, I'm already thinking he thinks Hannibal Lecter's a real person, right? You wouldn't say the late great about a fictional character, would you?
I don't know. Well,
certainly you wouldn't about a fictional character who is alive at the end of the books, right? At the end of the books, he's alive. Anyone actually watch and read the whole thing? I did. I read all the books. All the Hannibal Lecter books. So, he's a wonderful man.
he oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. As this poor doctor walks by, I'm about to have a friend for dinner. But Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late great Hannibal Lecter.
So he doesn't invite him to dinner.
Yeah.
But he certainly believes he was a real person.
But I like that. He's like,
for some reason.
Have him over for something. He's like, he liked to have a friend for dinner. He's like, yeah, he did. He did. So, okay, so he did a stupid quote, but yeah, they're saying he said something he didn't. Again, they like to take his quotes out of context. They all do it. All parties do it. All sides do it. But it looks
also,
like
chronologically, Silence of the Lambs isn't even the end of the story.
no.
It's the middle.
There's a new one. Didn't they just release a newer one?
Well, there's and are you
Again,
talking about Hannibal Rising or something newer than
I
Hannibal
think
Rising?
I don't know. I think there was one.
Because Hannibal Rising is the super prequel, but if there's something newer than that, I haven't heard about it.
I don't know. Maybe I've misheard it, or it's a fake trailer. But
Yeah.
so Biden's not gonna do it.
And then what's the other one? Teasing Marco Rubio.
Hannibal Rising, yeah. So 2007. When I say last week, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hannibal Rising. That one was a hard one to read the book, but I do have.
When I say that, that means like it could be anywhere from yesterday to like 1999. Okay. So
that one kind of gives his origins on like the first time he consumed human, and it was he had to situation, like a snow mountain,
and then he realized how good it tasted. So.
Well, yeah. He's like, oh, this is just food. You can make this taste good, like you can make any food.
A little bit of salt and pepper.
Well, maybe some better salt and pepper. Though. I don't know. Cumin? Is cumin a thing?
Will challenge Donald Trump to create jobs, but he lost $3 million. What the? Come on.
We challenged Donald Trump to stand up to Putin, but he bent the knee to him.
We've challenged Donald Trump to follow the law.
What? That's what
but
it
he
says.
breaks
he
it.
lost 3 million jobs during his 4 years. What do you mean? I mean, that's.
Guess that is. With COVID, that makes that's true.
Okay, now you're making excuses.
So yeah, so
is it minus 3 million or is it not minus 3 million?
You're challenged, but he breaks it. Yeah, but challenge Donald Trump to not destroy our country. But that's all his Project 2025 aims to do. I'm ignorant on Project 2025. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I really want to know what it is. But
you should look into
maybe I
things
will.
you don't know
Yeah.
about.
So,
Especially since if these things come to fruition, it will directly impact Canada at a certain point.
no,
We can't just let you be up there the same as you are today, to be honest. They're going to word it that way too. Vaguely, it's going to be very vague what we're going to do to you. You're going to become a de facto state of the fascist states of America. The FSA. FSA.
Joe Biden doesn't have time for Donald Trump's weird antics. He's
Yes,
busy
he
leading
has
America. Yeah, he
nothing
does. He's president from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. He's got time.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's true. Come on, right? He's busy leading America, defending the free world. No, he's not. Donald Trump is a liar. Okay, yeah. Convicted and a fraud only out for himself. Well, he's convicted right now, yeah.
Actually, that last part is the least true of those. Out only for himself? No. He's out for his friends too.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff for his friends.
Par for the course.
I get it. Par for the.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Joe Biden said he wanted to golf with Trump as long as Trump carries his own bag. He was very perky about that, right?
He thinks that Trump will say no based on that condition.
Yeah. So then come back with that.
Why did Trump mention the carrying? The
No,
bag?
he didn't.
Did
I didn't see that.
He should have.
He should have, right?
Joe's contention.
Right, but nobody carries their bag in golf. You got the golf cart or the caddy. So
Trump said he won 2 club championships and that Biden couldn't drive a ball 50 yards.
So,
do you think Trump actually won those championships?
On his own golf courses? Yes, he did. So,
when you
on his own golf course, yes, he won the champions.
You're saying he cheated?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the fact
Why
that
are you saying on his own golf
because
course?
he won the golf course. Like that's all I have.
He cheated.
Yeah, no,
right?
Like so.
Because if he did it on another course, he couldn't do what?
I'm not. I'm just saying he won.
Cheat?
He won 2 times with home field advantage. So.
Really? You think it's because he practices on that grass? I know that this is the best grass, folks. We have I forgot to do the hand things.
But different courses are different challenges, right? So.
I refuse to say that golf is a sport. So no.
Yes, it is. I've played
No, it
some
is
courses.
not.
Yes,
There is
some are
nothing
easier,
about it
some
that's
are
a
harder.
sport.
Some holes are harder. There's one, the hole was like
Nope.
literally 100 yards away, but that's the
Doesn't
hardest
matter.
shot, the hardest hole in the
Doesn't
game.
matter. This is nothing different than like. Have you ever seen those trick shot videos on YouTube where somebody will take like a ping pong ball and stand like on the balcony or
And they got a guy in a green suit
and they
holding
throw
it.
it and it lands in the cup.
No, because they got a guy in a
That's
green.
golf.
They got a guy in a green suit doing it. So.
And people cheat on those. Yeah, okay, fine. But like, that's all golf is. It's not a sport. It's that. It's you did a dumb thing and it happened to land in the cup. Whee! I'm not impressed. Because you could just do that over and over again, and eventually, yeah, of course you'll get in the stupid cup. Also, golf takes up too much space, and the people who are best at it are not physically in shape.
Yeah.
How can that be a sport?
Okay.
I would say the same thing about a lot of other sports because that in shape part too.
Yeah.
I don't think that's they're gonna be a gotcha for me. I've seen bowlers.
Former President Trump watches his shot for the. That ad popped up right as soon as I wanted to read that first tee during the pro aim prior to the LIV golf tournament. I guess it was. Yeah.
Whatever it is, at the Trump Golf Club.
Yeah.
In Bedbugs.
2022.
So this is his golf swing. This is it. This is a presidential
Good follow
golf
through.
swing.
I did see Joe Biden swing it. He doesn't have that. Like, you do need a technique. And there is a follow through, and Joe Biden didn't have it. But I've only seen one video, so that could have been a bad video. I'm not going to take that.
Yeah, Biden alleged he got his handicap down to a 6 as vice president. But they corrected it. Oh, no, actually it was an 8. But, like...
Yeah. I think the lower the better anyway. Yeah. I mean, the higher the better. Yeah, that's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap.
Trump's handicap has been recorded as low as 2.5.
Yeah, so...
Recorded by who?
But yeah. Anyway,
somebody who gets a paycheck from Trump?
That's the thing, and I'm gonna hit them both on this. When that was the biggest talking point from the debate, you're fucked. You're done. Yeah. So, you're done, bud.
Let's settle this whole handicap debate. I'll host the golf match on my YouTube. Oh wait, he's gonna put it on YouTube for us. Nice. We'll watch it live in air.
For free, yeah, we will. Like that. 18 rounds of golf is hard, especially when they're that old. Come on, so
this is him playing a round of golf at Sterling, Virginia. I mean, he literally, we've talked about this. He spent a ton of time golfing.
Yeah, so
he does nothing but golf. And this was one of the big criticisms during his presidency.
I'm pretty sure that's
wasn't being a president.
I'm pretty sure that's why he'd beat. And if they're gonna go to a beach and sunbath, Joe Biden would probably be the best, as long as it's on a Delaware beach. So.
I think that they should both be allowed to cheat how they would always cheat, and we'll see who wins, who's better at cheating, because obviously they both get Secret Service, which is, an unknown number of people, not necessarily next to you, but near enough you, that they can all manipulate the ball for you.
But
I want to see who wins, even with cheating. Let's allow cheating.
I want to see, but that's what happens. Whoever wins that becomes the president of the United States. No voting, no delegates, no nothing. That's who wins.
Fuck it, why not? Yeah, we'll put that on the line. If that means we'll tune in. And we can get Bud Light, and we can get Pepsi to sponsor it, obviously. Because you got to have Pepsi so the kids watch.
Yeah, well, Coke, isn't it? So.
And you got to have the beer so that the adults watch. Coke,
well,
Pepsi,
Bud Light. I don't know. Bud Light's the way to go right now. Come on. So.
Fine, we'll get Modelo.
So yeah.
Dos Equis and Modelo.
Maybe there you go. So. Actually, Bud Light's back. Bud Light sponsors
Bud Light
UFC.
Is back, by the way.
Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Bud Light bounced back. They knew
we knew that was gonna happen.
It was so stupid of them to try to boycott something they love. They love that beer. Why would you boycott the beer you love?
But that's the thing. People do that. I think Bud Light's trash beer. I think it was one of the most disgusting beers. So was Budweiser.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's
terrible beer. Back when I drank.
So yeah, me too. That's a horrible beer.
I wouldn't choose that beer. I only drank it. Actually, I didn't even drink it growing up because my dad and mom didn't drink it. They drank Busch.
So yeah,
which is just the same. It's the same. It's just cheaper.
Yeah, I like those jokes about that, about how. I don't know. Never mind. Anyway, but yeah. So if you haven't already, please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, and go to borderlinebanter.com, and you can find all our socials on where we post and all that fun stuff.
All the things.
And if you want to join us for the show, we're always looking for friends and guests and people to debate with, talk with. If you have a fun story, anything, we do more than just news here. Just
come help me yell at Mike.
Yeah, Dustin and I have pretty boring lives, actually. But yeah, so come on by, drop us a line. We will go from there.
And as always, we like to end our show saying it's okay not to be okay. But here at the Borderline Banter, we try to take mental health awareness pretty seriously. We want you to reach out and get some help. We covered some tough stuff again tonight, kind of out of nowhere with one of those, like the dude about the guy's mouth thing.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked
Boom,
up.
I don't know where
So-
I saw.
If anyone's ever feeling kind of way, you know, there's lots of numbers. You can come to borderlinebanter.com and check out. We got a whole bunch of information and hotlines here. You can reach out to somebody if you don't have somebody in your life already that you can reach out to, which I would recommend that, obviously. But that's kind of a privilege not everybody has. So
For sure. Well, yeah.
And hey, come on the show if you really want to talk to somebody. Come on the show.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you.
For sure. And like, stories are good. It is good to talk. And that's something I would always like to talk about too. Is like, if you want to give me your story, I'd love to hear. Because I like to hear people's stories and see what they're going through. But yeah,
Right.
thank you.
We're
Go on.
here
sorry.
to listen.
Yeah. Well, thanks again. Dustin's getting dark, so there he goes. He's
Yeah, I was
disappearing.
gonna say I literally needed to find a brighter
Good night,
thing.
Dustin. Bye. We're gonna have a
Yep,
good night's
yep.
sleep, like a lullaby for you. But yeah, thank you very much. We can't host again, but yeah, we will see you on Friday. Stay safe, everybody. Cheers. Yeah. Bye now.
There's